We're always being taught that there is a better life that is waiting for us somewhere, and the only thing that we need to do is to ensure that we are making sacrifices in the present for the sake of that better future. And this is something that I really believed. And I went through school, I listened to what I was being told, like, school is going to be the gateway to a better future. You should study in school because you're going to get a good job that is going to give you a better salary and you're going to be living the life. I did all of that, and I sacrificed so much of my time in school to just dedicating it to books because what? I was working for a better life. Fast forward years later, here I am, and I'm like, is this real love that I wanted? No, I didn't want a life where I work in a corporate environment from 8 to 5, and that's just in the official sense, but it's really like working literally 24/7 for a corporate environment where when you actually want to take time off, your time, you have to ask for permission. I'm sorry, what? How is that a better life? I didn't break my back. I didn't endure so much trauma, so much abuse through school just so that I can just come and be a slave to somebody else. And it's really what I was going through, a burnout. And they actually don't tell you about how if you're an overachiever in school, you'll end up having a burnout in your early 20s. What I was going through that is when I started really asking questions and being like, wait a minute, if this is not what I'm enjoying, why am I forcing myself to do this? Why not just do what it is that I love doing? Something that I actually want to do? Because that makes me happy and it makes me enjoy my time. There is no proof that we're going to have this better life in the future. Does the future even exist? I only know of today, and I want to be happy today. I want to have a better life today. I want to enjoy my today. And it is in really asking myself these questions that I started really finding ways of enjoying my present moment. But people look at me like I'm a loser because they're like, when are you getting a job? Then I'm just like, I'm just enjoying life, And I know I've made so much progress because right now I'm actually in the village. Do I want to be here? No. But am I enjoying being here? Yes. And yesterday, actually, the lights went off through the night. And it's something that is very common in the Kenyan village. And years ago, if that had happened, I would be like, oh my God, what is wrong with KPLC? Why are they doing this to me? I would have taken that as an attack on me. But yesterday, I was just like, oh, we don't have electricity? Cool. I ended up just cooking what I had planned to cook, and I was actually cooking while holding a lamp with one hand and cooking with the other. I even chopped cabbage in the darkness with just one lamp. And I'm like, oh my God, I have really grown. I am not letting things that I cannot control my life. I am literally now in charge of my life, but it has really taken a lot of work for me to get to where I am, and that's what I want to share with you. If you want to have a better life, these tips, I hope they're going to help you to achieve that. One of the most important things that I actually learned, and I learned this from the book The Architect's Apprentice by Elif Shafak, and Elif is just one of my favorite writers. From that book, there's a character called Master Sinan, and he says, be like water. And this essentially means that you should be flexible in life, just like water. When you come across a hurdle in life, instead of just being like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Find a way of going around it, or just ensuring that it's not controlling you. That's what water does. If you divert a river, it will just go a different way. It's not going to be like, oh my God, why did you block this way? I wanted to go this way. It will go the other way. And I found that really taking charge of my life and really knowing the things that I can control and things that I cannot control is really one of the most important things of actually living a better life. Because instead of sitting down and be like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? You just take a step back and be like, is this something that I could have controlled? No. Then why am I stressing myself? Just move on. Find a way of actually dealing with it, or maybe don't deal with it in that moment and deal with it when you're ready. It's you, it's your life. You just take charge of it. You're the one in control. You're in the driver's seat, so you decide where you're going. It's also very important to stop living your life as if it's an emergency. We're always being told as if we're running out of time, but actually you're not. And you find people are like, oh my God, even when they go to work, the way they're working, it's as if everything is an emergency. And it doesn't even stop with them. They expect other people to respond to their life lives as if it's an emergency. So if they call you, they expect you to be always there for them, or they're gonna get mad. They're like, oh my god, you don't care about me. Like, no, that is just so toxic. Can you imagine? You can't even give yourself a break because you're always on the go, go, go. You have to actually take a step back and ask yourself, what am I doing this for, and why do I always feel like I am rushing? Where are you going? Because most of the time you're just running, but you're running towards a wall and you can't see it because you just focus on just going and be like, oh my god, I need to do this. That is actually what causes people a lot of anxiety, because it's like, I am running out of time, but you're not running out of time. Even if you are, then spend your time doing something that you actually like. It's also important to know that you actually have to do the work on yourself. You have to do the dirty work. Things like healing. It's not just gonna happen. You have to do it, and it's really hard. It's actually one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, because it really means confronting the wounds that you have, the scars that you have. My goodness, it really takes a lot of you, physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. You actually feel like you want to die when you're going through the process of healing your traumas, but it's something that you have to do. And lots of time I see people just posting quotes on Instagram day in, day out, and they feel like posting the quote is actually doing something in their lives. But no, yeah, it's good to post the quote, share that with other people, but you have to do the work. You're not going to be miraculously healed just because you posted a quote about sometimes God has to break your heart to heal your soul. You have to realize that for God to break your heart, when actually that is happening, you will have a really hard time. Perhaps you will actually have to go through a time where you actually have so much doubts about God, because you're like, why are you doing this to me? That is what people don't talk about. It's really hard, and that's why some people actually call some things existential crisis, because it's literally a crisis. You are having so many questions, and if you don't push yourself to actually ask these questions and look for these answers on your own, then you will really end up in a bad place, and you will find yourself in a place where you just want to run away from all these things. That's why you find people being addicted to a lot of things. It's because they're just trying to run away from the lives that they have. But you have to take charge, and taking charge means doing the dirty work, which is not fun at all, but it's really worth it. For you to actually have a better life, you have to realize that learning does not stop at school. Becoming a student of life is actually going to help you so much, because it's going to really teach you that, you know what, you actually don't know a lot as you think, and it's going to make you really humble. And it's not enough to just read self-development. In fact, I am not a big fan of self-development, because I feel like all the things they write, you already know, it's in you. But we should actually be more active in reading fiction books, non-fiction like essays, so that we can know more about how other people think, and we can open our worldviews. And a lot of people are always like, fiction is a waste of time, but actually fiction is inspired by reality. And if you read fiction, it will actually help you to understand the lives of other people. Through fiction, you can actually find stories that make you feel seen. That has happened for me through the book The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, through The Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I mean, it's really important for you to find these books and read, so that you don't feel alone, so that you don't go through life feeling like, oh my god, the world is against me. No, other people are going through similar situations, and you need to just find books so that you can actually find your own tribe, per se. Even if they're fiction, at least you feel seen in some way. It's also good to watch documentaries so that you can learn about the world. Watch the news, engage in politics. Once you actually start engaging in politics, and it's not the politics of, you know, following political leaders and all that, real politics, really looking at how these political governments have been created and political systems, you start to realize the things that we are being taught, it's for a reason. It's because it's benefiting someone. Once you start engaging in politics, then you start being like, wait, am I making decisions that I want for myself, or am I making decisions that benefit somebody else? Am I living the life that I want for myself, or I'm living the life that I have been taught to believe that I want to live? It's very interesting. It's also very important for you to learn when to take advice from your parents. And I'm really emphasizing here on parents because parents have a lot of influence on our lives, and most of the time we just want to listen to what they're telling us. But remember, anyone can only give you advice from the level of exposure that they've had. For example, if you want to start a business and your parents are telling you, oh, it's not a good idea, you have to look at, first of all, are your parents people who have done anything in business? If they haven't, then you probably shouldn't listen to them because they're just projecting their fears. But if they're actually people who are doing business, who are working in business, then you probably listen to them, but they will not just tell you, oh, it's not a good idea if they're doing business. They will actually give you guidance. They will tell you it's not a good idea because of this and this and this, because they've had experience. But also you have to look at the areas they've had experience in, or what are their fears in them telling you that doing the business is not a good idea. Don't just follow blindly what they're telling you. It's always good to go to people who are actually experts in their fields. So perhaps look for your uncle who has been doing business for a very long time and ask advice from them than just listening to your parents. You know, a lot of time our parents are just projecting. A lot of them will always be like, oh, I want the best for you, but they want the safe option for you. A lot of African parents always think that, you know, going to get a corporate job is the right way, being a creative is not. You absolutely know what you should be doing with your life, and you should stop outsourcing important decisions to other people because you think they know more about your life than you. You are the one who knows more about your life. You really need to pick from whom you're taking advice, because if you don't, you're the one who's going to suffer. You want to follow what other people are telling you, you're the one that has to live that life. Something that can actually prevent you from living your best life is actually the energy that you're giving out, especially when no one is seeing you. If you project negative energy to other people's lives, it's gonna come back to you 1,000-fold. This goes especially for those people who are always seated behind their phones and they're leaving hateful comments on people's videos, and you actually think that, oh my god, no one is gonna know me. But you know what? Like, you're telling the universe that you are all about negative energy and you just want hate in your life. That's why you'll just find like, oh, nothing is going right in your life. You continuously see that, oh, the people that you're sending hate is like their lives are becoming better and better, and you're like, why can't I have whatever it is that they have? But you've made it very clear that that is not what you want, because if you're sending hate to someone who's living the life that you want, it really means that you basically don't want it. Because if you wanted it, you would be in a receiving energy. You would be saying, oh my god, this person is living the life that I want to live. It is possible for me. Universe, how can I live the life that this person is living? And you celebrating the achievements of other people is in a way you celebrating yourself, because we are all one people, we are all connected. So if you're bringing other people down, it just means that you also don't want to be where that other person is. Even if you end up being in that place, other people are going to pull you down, because that's the energy that you've actually put out from the start. So yeah, be very careful about what you're doing, especially when no one is seeing, because it always comes back to you. And one of the important ways of actually living a better life is treating yourself right. Because if you don't treat yourself right, don't expect others to. I'm always hearing people being like, oh my god, if he doesn't buy you flowers, I don't know, if he wanted to, he could. Are you not tired of waiting for other people to do things for you? Do things for yourself. You want flowers? Go buy yourself flowers. Stop waiting for, I don't know, someone from somewhere to buy you flowers. Do you even like flowers in the first place, or are you just listening to what other people are telling you? If you want to travel, why are you waiting for somebody else? Huh? Start traveling. Oh, people always, oh my god, I'm not traveling because my friends don't want to travel with me, because I don't have a partner. Travel on your own. Then people create these excuses like, oh, I can't travel alone because what if I get bored? It's not safe. Even you staying in your own home is not safe. You can still get bored in your own home. So please, just stop with the excuses and start living the life that you want, instead of waiting for other people to come and give you the life that you want. Like, please. This is something that we're actually taught as women, to always wait for other people so that we can live our lives. Start living your life. You're always being told, wait until you get married so that you can be happy. you can be happy today. Start making decisions that will make you happy today, that will make you have a better life today, because you can. You don't know about tomorrow. I mean, are you even sure that you will see tomorrow? No. And that actually brings me to the last point of living a better life for yourself. Live every day as if it's your last. And I know this is always being said, but truly, when you start thinking about it like it's your last, trust you me, you're gonna wake up each and every morning with lots of energy and dancing around. I always see people being like, oh, the people who wake up and they're full of so much joy and they're screaming and all that. I'm that kind of person. I'm also that kind of person that sends people 30-minute voice notes. But you know, that is what makes me happy, and I'm not going to apologize for that. And I wake up each and every day just with full of energy, full of gratitude. And though I don't want to be in the village right now, can I control it? No. But just waking up to hearing the birds in the morning and just seeing the beautiful sunrise and just seeing the beautiful trees and just sitting down here and filming while listening to the chickens and the children, but having this wonderful sun on me. I mean, and this wonderful background. I mean, beautiful green background. It's just amazing. Really, life is about accepting the good and the bad that life gives us, because life is not just made up of the good things, it's also of the bad things, the things that we really don't want to do. But if you just be accepting and receive all of it and be like, I'm just going to find a way of being grateful for all that I have. And no, don't make it, like a toxic positivity kind of thing. I really don't like it. Like, these people are like, oh, be positive. No, if you feel like crying, cry. If you're not happy with where you are, acknowledge it and then be like, okay, what can I do to, go to a better place? That's essentially what life is. You can have a better life if you just become very conscious of your present, conscious of the choices that you're making, conscious that this life that you're living is yours. You're in the driver's seat. Stop listening to what the passengers are telling you. It's always the driver who knows where you're going. And a lot of the times, especially in Kenyan matatus, if you tell the driver, oh, can I go here? The driver will be like, are you the driver? Do you want to come here and drive? So you should actually be the same. Be like, this is my life. I'm the one who chooses where I'm going. And if you don't like wherever it is that I'm going, I mean, you're welcome to just alight. No one is forcing you. Being the driver of your own life is the first step of actually living a better life.